Hello everybody. Hope everybody's having a great day. Well, if you saw my last video, we made some of these cabbage roses together, but I've got another idea that I want to share with you. We also dyed these right here in our last video, but I didn't make them into anything yet. So we won't need this for this. If you don't have the embossing tools that we used for the last video to shape our petals, no problemo. I have another idea. So another thing you can do is take your petals, make sure everything's good and dry, and I sprayed these with glimmer mist. So one side has a little sparkle and the other doesn't. So I want to make sure the sparkle side is up. Now, I have done videos on this before where I used my tweezers. You can do this if you have a pair of tweezers like this. It's really easy to do. And I've also got another tutorial on how I did these flowers before, but they weren't die cut. So these are die cut. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these tweezers and I'm going to grab it a little off to the center. I'm a little to the right of the center of that petal, maybe a little more. And I'm going to push down and back up with the petal. So I just made a little kink. All right, again, a little off center. I'm going to push down with the petal and back up and just kind of squish it. All right, so here's how I do it. Just squish. Don't worry that everything is just perfectly lined up. Doesn't matter if your line's a little crooked. It's going to look really wonky right now, which is fine. That's just how we want it. All right, so again, grab it, push down, back up. And my thing locked on me. I hate it when I need to take that lockaroo off of there. That thing gets in my way sometimes. All right, grab it, push down, and back up. I'm not really doing anything to this side. I'm doing most of it to that side, but because I'm off center, when I start, it kind of covers both sides. Okay, so there's two. So I'm going to pick out what I want to go together, and I'm going to do the same thing to every one of these. If you don't have tweezers like that, and you don't want to do that, here's something else you can do. Take your petal, fold it in the middle down, and you could leave it there, or take the edges and fold the edges of the petal up. It's almost the same thing. So down and back up. It's just a little bit more trouble to me. It's easier. I can do it easier with these, and I know I'm only really getting one side, but I can do it easier and faster with the tweezers. Okay, and as you've noticed, my tweezers have this bright yellow ribbon on it. Guess why? I lose those things more, and even with the bright yellow ribbon on them, I still misplace them sometimes. Okay, so I'm going to start putting these together. So that's one of the biggest ones, and I'm staggering the petals. And then this particular die has a hole in the middle of the flowers in case you want to put stamens, which I think we'll do this time, just to have something different. So there was 3. This is 4. I usually go for about 8. That usually makes the color, the size flower that I like. But it does not have to be. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Was that 5? 6. And this is 7. I mean, if I liked it at 7, I would stop. It doesn't have to be 8. I've just made so many, and usually 8 is just right about where I want it, because I always want something small, a little tiny one in the middle. All right, now look, you gotta cooperate. All right, and then I'm gonna stagger this last one, and I'm gonna take my tweezers and just kind of make sure everything stuck. Isn't that beautiful? Look at that. So simple. And of course, we're gonna put something in the middle of it. All right, so let's do this one. Let's see, here's my big ones, and I just kind of look at it and go, which one do I want on the bottom? Doesn't matter. And I'm going to stagger these petals as I put these together. When they have that hole in the middle of the die, you can see exactly where the middle is. Sometimes I get it just a little off, but again, like I was telling you, you do not shoot for perfection. You want it to look natural. The less perfect it is, the more natural it's going to look. The only thing I want to make sure that I do is stagger those petals. Is that one next? I think you're next. And I'm not counting, but I want to say I had 8 here. But I'm going to go by look and more than counting them, because I might like just the way it looks. Yep, there we go. One more. I'll put one more right here down in the center, and it's sticking to my hands because I got a little glue on me. There we go. Isn't that beautiful? These, because they're that stiffer coffee filter than the real thin one, they hold their shape a lot better. I wish you could see that better. I just added another light. I'm going to see if that helps any. So I want you to be able to see how pretty these are. So all we got to do is put something in the middle. All right, so let's do that. Okay, and just like we did on the last one, I'm going to use a little bit of my Fabri-Tac, Fabri-Fix. I put it in these Sugar Belle icing bottles, and I love it. It doesn't volcano out the top like they always do, and we waste so much of it when that happens. It's so frustrating. So I'm just putting in just a little ball of this glue because I want to glue these pearls in, but I also want the glue to squeeze out around the edges just a little bit. So here's my pearl. I chose purple for this one, and I'm holding where the holes are because my goal is to get that pearl down in there without the hole sticking straight up, you know what I mean. Sometimes it does it anyway, and I have to go and move it and make it behave. But we're good here. All right, so I'm just kind of pushing those down into the glue just a little bit. And the reason I've added a little extra of the glue is because I like to just kind of anchor these with a little bit of glitter around them. It just kind of finishes them so that it's not just a ball sitting in there, you know. And then when that dries, I'll turn it over and dump the extra glitter out. So that was just another idea for you. So you don't always have to have a die. You can do them without a die, with a die. You can make the petals cup up, cup down. You can do them with the tweezer method, or just pinch them, or whatever works for you. Just have a lot of fun with it because they are fun to make, and they just make such beautiful embellishments. Okay guys, thanks again for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.